Okay, viewers, this is Dr. James VONDUTCH speaking, or simply better known as Dr. James VOND. And today's date is Thursday, 9th of April 2026. And right now, I'm filming at Coventry University, and that's the business school there, right behind me. I'm just passing through and on my bike. I'll get a picture of the bike. It's not an e-bike, it's a normal bike, and does require effort, human effort. So it's not battery operated or anything. And I'm just making my way to Fairfax Street. This is actually Gospel Street right now. And I made a video yesterday on Fairfax Street. That was my last video. And the reason why I'm returning to Fairfax Street is because although I managed to download that video on my Instagram platform and also my TikTok platform, unfortunately I wasn't able to download it on YouTube. So I had some problems there with that video, but I have managed to download it on those other two sites, Instagram and TikTok. Like I said, it's just the YouTube account where it wasn't actually downloading, it wasn't accepting the file download or something. So let's just make our way to Fairfax Street. So this is Coventry University around here. This is all, these buildings here are all kind of Coventry University, which is located in the city centre of Coventry. And those are my brakes again. If you're wondering what that noise is, squeaking. I haven't ordered them, I haven't bothered yet. So I'm making this video obviously on my bike and don't have a car anymore, like since last year, obviously since May 2025. My viewers are aware of that. I think I'll just pause this video, and when I get to the Fairfax Street, I'll resume recording there. Okay, I'm at the Fairfax Street now, and that's the Greg's shop there, right behind me, on the Code building. There's also a co-op a bit further up that way, and a Pizza Hut as well, even further a bit down. So I'll just continue on the theme I was doing yesterday on my video, and I was talking about obviously the sex workers in Hillfields and what's actually cleaned up the area or stopped them from their activities. Is most likely, I mentioned factors like the influx of students and student accommodation nearby in the vicinity. That's also had a negative impact on their activities. So obviously they won't be able to do that activity, on the streets, looking for their clients, waiting for someone in maybe a car or just walking by to get offered their services. So also it's not really acceptable, I think, by the communities here, not just the student population but other communities as well, and there are children as well around, and the women there don't want to be labelled as potential sex workers. That's the big difference there. So that they could be accused of being, and then the clients could be approaching normal women, who ain't sex workers at all, and that's obviously upsetting. It'll be upsetting for them. So on that basis, the activity has declined. But obviously, normal women don't dress like the sex workers, do they? They have a different dress code. They won't be looking like sex workers. They're normal women, that is. But what is a normal woman anyway? That's all down to perception, isn't it? And even sex workers, I mean, there's no particular, uniform or something for the sex workers. sometimes they're wearing quite heavy gear, and especially around here. I mean, they're quite rough, old troopers, almost like. And not just the kids there as well, like I said, and the women as well there. So they don't want to be labelled as potential clients, seekers, sex workers potentially, when they're not really sex workers at all. That's the other women. So that's the label. But Hillfields has always been that historically. You've got to remember that, bear that in mind. Historically, that's always been a red light district, Hillfields. Just like Soho district in London, that's been kind of known for being red light district. And Amsterdam's red light district, obviously, Dualen. But obviously, they're more professional there in Amsterdam. They've got shops there, and obviously, they're behind those window doors and things. So, and obviously, they're wearing bikinis and things. Over here, they won't be able to do that, obviously, wearing bikinis. It might be kind of considered objectionable by quite the normal local population. And although during the hot summer weather, it might be different. So that sort of thing has obviously deterred them. And obviously, me losing my council house, that's probably affected everything as well. When they probably heard the news that this guy's lost his council house and he lives near the area. And obviously, I'm renowned for going to Amsterdam and places like that. Shocking news like that, that's probably wiped them out, you see. They're shocked, obviously. They're in a state of shock and disbelief. So that's obviously deterred them. Also, the fact that I had to sleep rough in my car 13 months, horrendous ordeal I went through. A local citizen, a local civilian. They did that to me. And somebody who's unemployed as well, not on a well-paid job or anything, on lowest minimum income, thrashing, just surviving, and not lavishly at all. No luxury goods here, and even my bike there, I've got that to show you. No cars these days. Talking about this bike, it reminds me of, that Norman Tebbit speech, on your bike. Remember him? The guy who's blown up with his wife on the 12th of October 1984 at Brighton, the Brighton bombing. I think it was the provisional IRA or somebody claimed that they blew him up or something. His wife died, I think, and he was a widower. So I'm not sure if he was James Bond then, but he was a widower, obviously. But was he on his bike or something? Like that up here, innit? And I'm 56, by the way. I'm losing my hair on the top as well. And heterosexual single guy still seeking a compatible partner, suitable partner, attractive one, obviously, somebody, and a seducing one as well, and somebody with TLC, tender loving care. And I'm not into people who ditch, those sort of women, ditching ones, or abandoning a partner. I'm not into those ones, so it's got to be a good relationship if there's one. So it might not be just one woman, and it could be many women until eventually you get to the right one. So anyway, I was also talking about yesterday about that movie, the 1965 spy thriller, a British movie, Operation Crossbow, and it starred Sophia Lorenz, the Italian actress, and also it starred the late George Peppard, American actor, and some British actors as well. And my favourite scene is those two British agents given fake ID, obviously, on that mission to infiltrate that weapons factory where they might be building the Vengeance 1, Vengeance 2 rockets. Ballistic missiles, that sort of thing, and they've infiltrated it, and they had IDs infiltrated from British intelligence, and they come up with names like Bidju and Dr. Engels. Bidju gets caught out, obviously, with a name like that, and obviously he's supposed to be married to an Ursula, but not an Ursula von der Leyen. Obviously, she wasn't around then, but and she didn't have 7 kids then, but she might have been around, but she didn't have 7 kids then. Might have been just a kid in those days, but obviously if you're with an Ursula, you might expect to get 7 kids in it, so he might have been accused of fathering 7 kids or something, and obviously his ID didn't match or something, and he got shot dead, obviously. On the other hand, Dr. Engels, remember that character? Dr. Engels, Doctor de Mathematics. Dr. de Mathematics, Dr. Engels, and then he gets that machine gun, innit? Switch on R9! Switch on R9! Remember that part? It's based on factual, some of it's factual, something. That's what it allegedly says in the plot of that story. It's not all completely factual, but obviously it is a spy thriller released in 1965. 1st of April in the USA, and I think it was in November in the UK when it was released. Wartime movie, you know. Anyway, and remember their British version of Hitler is Stephen Lewis, you know, on Inspector Blakey on the buses. Remember him, lanky Hitler? Real life Hitler was only 5'8", the German Hitler, and obviously he was killed before. He didn't even have any kids. He was married to Eva Braun. They tied a knot at the end, and both of them committed suicide or something, allegedly, and they were kind of cremated or something as well, to stop the body snatchers, you know. But he was 5'8" guy, regular height, you know, not somebody like Inspector Blakey, a lanky figure, you know. That's the British version of it. The late Stephen Lewis, he played that role, Inspector Blakey, on the buses. Gunjas on the buses, remember that? Carry on board, remember those movies? But you can carry on. I was talking about the rates yesterday as well, how much they charge, extortionate amounts. That could be also deterring people from using their services, and obviously rising cost of living is affecting everyone, not just food prices. People just have enough for food these days, you know, and eating expenses, and yet alone anything else, and clothing expenses, etc. And anything else is additional. So I don't think they have much money left over. And any sexual services they might want to pursue, you know, if they haven't got partners. You're talking at least £40 upwards for a 15-minute session. That's in the UK, in most areas anyway. Brazilians, they charge £60, £50 and £60 for a 15-minute session, and that's because probably they've got more tanned looks, you see. More sultry, more tanned looks. So you're paying extra for that, and their figure as well. Obviously, they might have bigger boobs or something. So they do charge extra because of those sort of features, and you're paying for those features. The tan, extra money for that, and the boobs as well. The bigger boobs. But in Amsterdam, you can expect to pay, just like in Geneva, sex centre there, Joanna district, you're talking at least €50 for a 15-minute session. For half an hour, you're talking about €100. Over here, it'll be at least sometimes £80, £60. You know, it depends on if you go for the non-Brazilians. There are Spanish ones here as well, German ones as well. Romanians and Bulgarians, obviously, they're quite popular as well. They're in that trade. And that's probably the reason why their population has been declining as well. If you look at the statistics, Romanians and Bulgarians in particular, their population might be declining because of in that trade. A lot of them might be ending up in that trade. It's easy money, isn't it? Quick money. Easy, quick money, and it's just condoms, isn't it? That's what it is. There's not even really any contact, real skin contact or anything. And they can usually fiddle it, you know, talk their way through 5 minutes talking, you know, 10 minutes maybe sometimes, and then you only get 5 minutes or something, you know. So it is a kind of extortionate kind of thing activity. They do expect to get twice as much, pay for their overheads, their fees, the rental accommodation, etc., things like that, and their utility bills, costs. So it is usually geared to the higher price. Although they give you a lower quote, at the end of the day, they're looking forward to getting as much as they can out of the client. Obviously, but by seducing them with a lower figure, maybe the lower quote, that is £40 in the UK, and obviously €50 on the continent. But don't count on having to spend that much, because they might just stop halfway, so you might not even jerk off or something, so you might have to pay double, obviously. But they do rush you. Obviously, you don't really enjoy it. It is a rush thing if you are doing 15 minutes. So try not to exceed 15 minutes. Remember that saying in the Gemini Man, that TV series, who's rendered invisible for 15 minutes or something. Anyway, I'll end this video now before it gets too long, because I did have problems downloading the ones yesterday on YouTube. That was Dr. VOND, Dr. James VOND, otherwise Dr. James VONDUTCH INT'L, on Thursday, 9th of April 2026, in Coventry City, CV1 area, CV1 district, or CV1 zip code or postcode. Keep up the sport, watch my videos for free. That's about it, and donate if you want to, and if you can. Help a needy guy.